The parent organization, we're still the Boy Scouts of America. And then within the Boy Scouts of America umbrella, we have our Cub Scout program, then the Scouts BSA program, which was typically just Boy Scouts, but now it's Scouts BSA because we have young women joining our program. So we have Cub Scouts, Scouts BSA, we have venturing and exploring and Sea Scouts as well as part of our program. In the process right now of a bankruptcy, yes, a restructuring and of sorts due to the youth protection that was not necessarily in place from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So those sins of the past, if you will, are coming back. And you know, we obviously learned, and we believe we've been at the forefront of youth protection, trying to protect kids. And today our youth protection standards as far as barriers to abuse, no kids can go camping obviously without the adult leadership, but there's always two deep leadership. If there's women on the camp out, there's always, if there's girls camping or activities, there's always a woman leader there and vice versa. There's never 2 years age difference between two kids that camp together in the same tent. So there's so many more barriers to abuse that we have in place today to make sure that we provide the safest environment for our children. And that's the most important thing we're looking at. We currently serve over 5,000 scouts right now, about 5,100 active scouts throughout the peninsula. And you know, that's a great number of scouts, but I have an ambitious goal of seeing if we can double or triple that. I mean, there are enough kids on the peninsula to have 10, 15,000 youth participating in the program. And now with the change that we had with young women being able to join, whole families can participate. I never thought in my lifetime that girls would be able to join for so many reasons. Attending national meetings, girls develop faster than young men. And while they are part of the scouting program, they're separate. So it's an equal but separate program, and it sounds strange, but we found that girls and boys develop differently. And my own personal experience being a volunteer leader in Hawaii, the girls take all the leadership roles. You know, in the venturing crew from 14 to 20, the girls took the president, the vice president, secretary, they take all the leadership roles. And scouting, as much as we do the values and the character because of the Scout Oath and Law, it's a leadership development program, and leadership is a practiced skill. So we know that if the girls take all the leadership roles, the boys get no practice, they fall further behind. But by now having a Scout BSA troop for boys and a Scout BSA troop for girls, there's a senior patrol leader here and a senior patrol leader here. There's equal opportunities, but it's still separate, but it's separate because of design in youth development and how they develop. So they have the same opportunities, the exact same merit badges, exact same leadership requirements. It's just not co-ed, equal but separate. But again, what we've seen, if we kept them together in the older programs, girls tend to excel and they're a lot more assertive. They take the leadership roles. And if it's a practice skills, the boys don't get the practice. Our campaign this year is gonna focus so much more on families recruiting families. You know, families recruiting families, we believe will have a higher retention. You know, if my kids play sports with your kids, hey, we do scouting on the side, come and join scouting. We've got testimonials from leaders that, you know, have kids that have gone to Princeton and to the Naval Academy or the Air Force Academy, and they give full credit to the Boy Scouts of America as having them do that. I mean, one of the examples given, a gentleman's son went to Princeton and said the distinguishing factor from the person interviewing his son did the Hornaday Award and submitted that as part of his application. And they read through the entire Hornaday Award, which is separate from his Eagle Project, and they were just blown away. And he got into Princeton and had like a $200,000 scholarship on top of that. You know, so it's just, I mean, these opportunities, and he felt like, you know, if it wasn't for that, he wouldn't have stood out. He wouldn't have had a chance to have gotten in, and they were surprised, but they were obviously very appreciative. I think we're going to bounce back for sure. You know, how and what the organization is going to look like going forward, it's hard to tell. But at the root of what we do, I think it's timeless values, and it's definitely needed more now than ever before.